So probably the earliest childhood memory that I have is when I was 8 years old, I got introduced to tournament bass fishing, and that ultimately changed my life, right? So I was on a boat for the first time, on a bass boat, never seen one before, and I can remember taking off and that nose standing up, Yamaha screaming down the lake, and ended up catching a 4-pounder out of a tree that day. And the cool thing is that I can go back to that tree and I still catch fish out of that exact same tree on my home lake. So just a lot of memories, and every time I'm on that body of water, my mind reverts back to that and it just puts a smile on my face. I think probably one of the best pieces of advice that I've ever received fishing-wise was at Skeeter Boats, the first time that I visited their office. My boss there sat me down in his office and he said, look, things are gonna get crazy, they're gonna get busy. He said, at the end of the day, put 5 fish on the scale every single day and the rest will take care of itself. You know, he said, be a good person, put 5 fish on the scale, everything else will take care of itself. And I've rode that out for a long time and always kept that in the back of my mind. I think just about every technique at first is frustrating for everybody because it's new, it's challenging, but after a while, some of those become your favorite ways to catch fish. Growing up, I didn't know anything about deep crankbaits. We didn't have ledge fishing and things like that. But once I started to figure out how those fish position, how to catch them offshore, and how to implement big crankbaits, all of a sudden it became one of my favorite ways to catch them, and I actually won my first elite tournament deep cranking offshore when I had never done that at home growing up. I think one of the things that young anglers now are worried about, or something that they could correct, is just making sure to learn the good fundamental basics of how to catch fish, how to pattern them, how those fish move, and then implementing those techniques. And then the rest will take care of itself, right? It goes back to that catching 5 fish and then letting everything else happen, is just going out there and having a good understanding, basic understanding of how those bass move throughout the year, because they've got fins, they've got tails, guaranteed they're gonna move, and you need to be able to adapt and make those changes. I don't have a whole lot of superstitions or rituals that I go through. One thing I do like to do is I like to listen to music. I listen to all different kinds of music, so it varies morning to morning. Some mornings I may listen to country, some I may listen to rap, some I'm listening to hard rock. It just depends on my mood that morning and what I feel like I need to get me ready for that day.